Good day, denizens of the paddock. I'm Unsilent, and we're back with the final episode of FlatOut. Well, at least I hope it's the final episode. If you've seen the last two races of FlatOut, gold isn't going particularly well for us after sweeping like first 5 races. But we've come all this way. We've passed 11 races of gold. We've passed 32 of 36 races of FlatOut so far. And now we're down to the final 4, and we're going to do it all in this final episode of FlatOut. Unless it goes as well as it usually does, of course. And I want to start this by unlocking this last race down here. So we are going to unlock Hayville Farm Dash by going with Finchley Timber Dash. Well, we're on the outside for the start of this race. 3, 2, 1, lights out, and away we go! And we're just shafted into turn 1, right into the... Wow, we have a lot of speed, a lot of traction coming out of turn 1. Even though we were shoved into the barrier by, I think it was a 75, we've come out better off, and we have taken the lead. You know, I think that tree was bad news for us last time. Oh, we've been punted. That tree was bad news for us last time. The 23 is just all up in our chuck. Oh, he's wrecked himself off our back bumper. You could hear him screaming. He must have run wide and off into the woods on the left side. Now we've got the leaders right in front of us. That's close to that barrier. We are centipeding the number 80 through turn 1. Okay, cut a little close there in turn 2. Now, I think that's in 68. He's punted us off. Oh, he got me all sorts of flustered there. So now we're just... Yeah. Just reset, and now I think we've lost that. We're down to 5th. That has not gone particularly well for us. Oh, we're back up to 3rd. They've wrecked themselves. Round the outside and into 2nd as we start the final lap. No, we haven't taken 2nd. Leader, or 2nd place rather, is right there. We're going to go up the inside of the 75, and now we are going to retake 2nd. It's been a challenge, but we finally unlocked all of the races in gold FlatOut. It's a 2nd place and across the line. That's the key part right there. You have unlocked Hayville Farm Dash. That's what I want to see. And as I am wont to do with these, we're going to race the newly unlocked race. Now, if you notice, okay, that's the Wadahoo race, but we've finished 1st in Hayville Haystack, and we finished 1st in the other Hayville race. So I'm thinking we have a good run at these Hayville races. Let's clean sweep them. Even if we don't clean sweep the Hayville races, I'm thinking that we should be in a good chance with the podium. We got a good starting spot. 3, 2, 1, lights out, and away we go. Hold up the inside, squeeze into it. We're touching the 14, who's touching the 80. We are literally trying to merge into the same piece of real estate. We've hit the 14 through that turn. I'm so surprised. This is the first time we've turned right at away from the water tower, and so I've kind of gotten crossed up there. We've fallen back at a 2nd, and I'm spending too much time talking, and I've nearly spun myself there. Even with these upgraded tires, if you put a little too much power down, it'll come back and bite you, and you're going to just lose the back end. And he's run wide. We're getting a good run on the 14, very good run on the 14, and we've gone into the lead. Now, I want you to notice on the left there, Honest John's used car dealership. Now, I know we buy our cars from what is quite clearly a used car dealership, but I kind of wonder if it is Honest John. I like those sort of like inside jokey Easter egg type things that video games do every now and then, and it's like, it'd be cool if this was the Honest John, this car dealer that we've been buying our cars from this whole time here in FlatOut. I find it cool. Here we go through the last sequence of corners, and we are going to clean sweep Hayville Farm. I might be a city boy, but the farm is really good to us, and across the line. With 4 seconds to spare. Alright, so we've got 2 races left. We have not had that much good luck at the gravel mound, so I'm thinking that we are going to save this one for last. We're going to save Super Smash for our last race, but first, that means we have to do the Bay Challenge at the Bay Circuit, and we know the secret this time. Avoid the barrels. 3, 2, 1, lights out, and away we go. Kind of been left in the dust, but they've all washed wide. Oh, he got punted. We're going to tuck up the inside. Oh, we got punted. They are both punting us. The AI is heavy contact this time out. Well, I almost avoided the barrels there. Now everyone's blowing by us. Ooh. Almost had a flashback to the last race. Sent over the mound by the 75. Darted back up the inside. And he's playing rough too. He's playing argy-bargy. Whoop. That was a little close. Now I think we're going to settle for third for the time being. Oh, that's gone poorly. Yeah, let's just reset. Just got absolutely sent off to Narnia landing on top of the other car. This is a PG-ish rated channel, so we can't show you me mounting the car after all. Out of the last turn. And it's not the result I wanted, but it's the result I needed. It's a third place and a podium and across the line. Won't mention the part that I'm 9 seconds behind the leader, but we've got 1 race to go. But before we get to that last race, we're going to do something a little different. For a game that's all about demolishing cars, we haven't done a demolition derby yet. So I think before we get to the Gravel Super Smash, we are going to do a demolition derby at the Demolition Dash. You can only win the derby by destroying all other cars. Your reward depends on the amount of time you spend on destroying the other cars. The longer it takes, the smaller the reward. Your nitrometer indicates the damage of your car receives. You lose if the damage reaches the top of the meter. Well, sounds like a demolition derby then. 3, 2, 1, lights. Wait, they don't have lights at, go! Well, that was a good first pass. We literally caused no demolition. Although they are taking pot shots at me here. We'll punt the 14 into the 80. The 80 is rocking the old, you remember Pepper from the, oh, we dropped it there. Remember Pepper from the hatchback from Bronze. The 80's running that. Just little tiny hits, every little bit of damage here. Just try and push him up into the wall. Maybe not. That one didn't go well. Let's line up a run here. Ah! Okay, well, we did a little damage there. Oh, someone went flying there. You can hear that in the background. Meanwhile, we are not too far from a similar fate ourselves. We have taken a lot of damage. But damage be damned. This is Demolition Derby. We are going to try and take people out, including the 8. Oh, we got hit ourselves there. Oh! That's, yep. I think we took maximum damage, and we are done. Oh, and we're out at the same time as the 5th place guy. I didn't think we did so well, but we finished 4th. Here's the MXC Impact replay. You can hear someone else screaming as they fly out of the car. I think we took each other out at the same time there. Now I want to do one more Demolition Derby race, but in order to do so, we are going to spend a couple dollars to strengthen up the body of the car. We're going to buy that body upgrade, and that way we'll do better than 4th. I'm hoping we're going to win this next Demolition Derby, and I'm thinking we're going to do it at the Demolition Sand Pit. 3, 2, 1, go! Whoa, they just went flying all around me. That guy's gone flying. Someone else has gone flying. Everything is happening. I thought, let's just stay out of that initial collision because it's... And they just went flying over top of me. The 80's on its route. We've bumped into the 9. I just want to stay out of the initial melee, and maybe it's helped us, because everybody else is taking each other out. Sideways into the 79. Okay, I think we have to be careful with our landing, because we just did a lot of damage to the car there on that landing coming out of the sandpit bowl thingy here. Take that, whichever number you are. We're very, very close to dying at this point, so... Oh! Where did he come from? It's a KO out of nowhere, and we finished... Ooh, that's embarrassing. Alright, demolition derbies aren't going so well for us, but today the racing is. So we have come to the final race of FlatOut. It's our old friend, Gravel Super Smash. Maybe we can improve on 8th. Well, we've got the ideal line, front row, inside, 3, 2, 1, lights out. And let's do it one more time. Side by side with 14, the last of the late breakers. We're going to go through turn 1 in the lead. Well, it's the end of lap 1, and we're out front, which automatically makes this our best ever run at Gravel Super Smash. We just have to not completely screw it up this time. The 80, the 79, the 14, they've all been rivals, but none of them has been arch nemesis as Gravel Super Smash. The car is holding together, the race is going our way. We are halfway through the Super Smash, and we are still out front. Here we go across the line, white flag, last lap, last race of FlatOut. Let's bring this one home. 35 races down, and we're about to make it 36, 10 episodes. I don't know how many attempts, you've seen them all in the videos. And, okay, we're going to wreck, of course we are, on our last turn. And across the line to win FlatOut. Win that race by almost 8 seconds. The car's on fire, all of the fenders are gone. The suspension is the only thing that's held together on this car, and I think that might be the first time that's actually happened. Fitting end. And here it is, first place with a race reward of $3,000, but that's not what we're interested in. This is what we're interested in. You have completed the gold class, and you've beaten all the challenges. For completing your career, you are awarded the grand prize of $25,000. But more important is that golden championship trophy. We have finally beaten FlatOut. It's been a long time. Spent a lot of time playing this game. I'm sure it doesn't seem that way from some of the videos. Cut out a lot of lonely laps riding around at the back. But you know what? For all the trouble I've gotten through with this game, you know, I've struggled a lot early on trying to figure this game out. Those bronze races admittedly were pretty ugly, and then we kind of learned and learned as we went through to silver and gold, and hopefully you've learned a few things about FlatOut. I've learned a lot of things about FlatOut. For example, I've learned why all these guides for FlatOut, you know, I was looking to see if there was a guide that talked about how nitro is generated. Still don't know how one generates nitro in FlatOut after 36 race podiums. But by the same token, you know, everyone says, oh yeah, I did it on professional difficulty. I didn't realize that was such a big deal. I thought professional difficulty, oh, that'll be fine. Who wants to do arcade difficulty? Apparently it's a hell of a lot harder than arcade difficulty, and I don't think it's just in the handling. I think that might have applied to the difficulty as well. But FlatOut, it's just such a stupendous game. The AI is so aggressive, it really makes you earn everything you get on track. The damage model is almost unlike anything that we have today, with the exception of Bugbear Entertainment's next car game, Wreckfest, which I think is still in early access as of recording this video. And I'm hoping that goes on a Steam sale soon, realizing that you've got your Thanksgiving and Christmas Steam sales coming up soon. But I'm hoping that one's on for a good deal, so that way I can try that out, maybe show a bit of that off on the channel. I don't know what I'd rate this game. I know back in the day, I think it got like high 70s, low 80s for ratings from the critics, and I'm not sure I'd go that low, to be honest. I think this is probably like, 8.5 out of 10 racing game. It's at least as fun as like a lot of, your Gran Turismos and whatnot that I've played, I'd say I much prefer, as much frustration as I've had with FlatOut, I'd much prefer playing this to F1 2016. Gran Turismo 2 might be one of the few racing games that I can, 2 and 4 for sure, are two of the few racing games that I can think of off the top of my head and say, that is a hell of a lot more fun than playing FlatOut. This game's good racing, good damage, fun tracks. This is such a fantastic game, and I'm glad I've gone back, a decade later to play this and see what FlatOut's all about. And I'm kind of glad now that they've gone back and they're making a modern iteration of FlatOut, though all Bugbear really needs to do is just kind of go back and update the graphics. The underpinnings of everything else is good enough. All they have to do is just kind of clean up the graphics. FlatOut Remastered would just be like one of the best racing games on the market. If it came out tomorrow, it would probably be in the running with Forza Horizon 3 for best racing game of the year. Of that, I have no doubt in my mind. But that somewhat waxing poetic about FlatOut will bring an end to this series. Thank you very much for joining me, especially if you've been here since the very start, episode 1 of FlatOut. If you haven't, there's a playlist. You can go back and relive this entire journey from start to finish, from flag to flag, all here on YouTube. So if you like this video, feel free to drop a like, feel free to share it, feel free to check out the social media links in the description, drop a comment on the video. I've already asked you to throw a like if you liked it, and don't forget to sub if you like this and you want to see any more. We'll be coming back to more racing games, that's for sure. But since we're in the heart of October, I'm thinking we're going to do something a little spooky for our next game. But you'll have to come back next week to find out. So until then, I'm Unsilent. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget the YouTubing jazz, and I will see you next time.